Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Tokini Andy Genki 1 Lesson 4 live stream. So let's get started with Lesson 4 of Genki 1. This is a long one. Today we're covering 8 different sections. Some of them are harder than others. Some of them are going to be reviewing stuff from last week, but let's go over what they are. The first thing we're going to be covering is to have, to exist, etc. Section 2 is where things are, past tense of des, polite past tense, more about mo, duration, expressions of quantity, and the handy to particle. I just want to let you guys know, if you're watching this on the replay, there's going to be timestamps down below. All right, guys, yoroshiku onegaishimasu. Let's go ahead and get started with using arimasu and imasu to express many ideas. Arimasu and imasu, they can express ideas like there is, to have, and arimasu, not imasu, can also express the idea of an event will happen. Some kind of event will happen. So one thing that Genki doesn't show you for some reason right away is that arimasu and imasu are actually the vimasu, so the verb, this is my little mathematical equation for vimasu, which is I'm using as the polite mas conjugation of aru and iru. Those are the dictionary forms of these. Aru is to exist and iru is to exist for an animate object. And their mas conjugations are respectively arimasu and imasu. So just keep that in mind. If you're speaking informally, you'll be using the form aru and iru. The sentence structure that Genki teaches for using arimasu and imasu is just a noun plus ga plus arimasu or imasu if the noun is an animate object. It's pretty straightforward. So here are some really simple example sentences. We have coffee ga arimasu. I have coffee. Coffee ga arimasu. Same sentence, but depending on the context, it could also mean that there is coffee. So for example, I have coffee right here. I might say coffee ga arimasu, but I could also say coffee ga arimasu if I could say there is coffee in the house somewhere, right? Or over there on the table there is coffee. Soko ni coffee ga arimasu. Next is an event usage of arimasu. We have shigoto ga arimasu. I have work. Work would be like an event, right? So it works for all those things. I have, there is, and I have an event, work. The next sentence uses imasu. It's Ando-san ga imasu. There is Ando-san, or Ando-san is here, or something like that. Like if Ando-san was over there, I'd be like, Ando-san ga imasu, right? And Ando-san, he exists. The literal translation for this is Ando-san exists. But you wouldn't actually think of it that way. It would be like, there's Ando-san. So let's jump into some slightly more difficult sentences. We have boku wa coffee ga arimasu. That's not actually more difficult. It's literally just the first sentence from the last section, but without the boku wa cut off. So you might have this as like, someone asks everyone in the room, what do you guys have to drink? What do you have to drink? And I'd be like, boku wa coffee ga arimasu. So I have coffee. I need to emphasize the I in that situation, yeah? The next one is asoko ni coffee ga arimasu. There's a coffee over there. So that's the kind of situations that you would see the different meanings of this show up. So boku wa coffee ga arimasu is I have coffee, whereas if it's over there, asoko ni coffee ga arimasu, the meaning there is coffee. The next one I have in nice neon green, and that's because it's a sentence that doesn't show up in Genki. I'm not even sure if it shows up in Genki at all, but it's a very useful little phrase, so I wanted to point it out. It's zannen nagara ashita shigoto ga arimasu. Unfortunately, or I'm sad to say, tomorrow I have work. Zannen nagara. It's like unfortunately. Ashita shigoto ga arimasu. The next sentence is also pretty straightforward, but it's mori ni, mori is forest, doubutsu ga takusan imasu. Takusan is many, so many animals. Doubutsu is animals, so mori ni doubutsu ga takusan imasu. We're going to be covering takusan and its usage a little bit later in the lesson, so if you'd like to learn a little bit more about that, stick around till then. I think it's around section, 5 or something. Next, we're jumping into what I'm most excited about in this lesson. What I had the most fun making in it is the conversation section. And the conversation section this week is a continuing story. It will continue on until they're all connected. Usually they're completely separate little stories, but this one is a story about, well, Ando-san. So here we go. I'm going to read it slow, and then I'll read it at a normal speed after that. And then we'll go over the meaning one by one. 安藤さんはどこですか？トイレはいませんでした。ビールがありますか？ Right here. あります。なんで？どこにありますか？ Alright, let's read that in normal speed. 安藤さんはどこですか？トイレはいませんでした。ビールがありますか？あります。なんで？どこにありますか？ Alright, so let's go ahead and figure out what these all mean, and I will get to your questions in a minute. 安藤さんはどこですか? This is, we've learned this I think in the last lesson, どこですか? Or maybe the one before that. It's where is 安藤さん? 安藤さんはどこですか? The next one is a little bit, I don't know, it's simple. There's a lot cut off of it. You're not really going to see sentences like this in Genki, but it's トイレは? So it's very informal, obviously, right? And what the sentence means is, what about the toilet? Contextually, we know that when I'm saying トイレは, contextually, we know I'm talking about Ando-san is in the toilet, or maybe he's in the toilet, or like the bathroom. They call it toire in Japanese. So we know that I'm asking, well, what about the toilet? Did you check the toilet? That's what this little thing, just toire wa, implies. And is the sound you make for like, huh? Wait, what? Like that. いませんでした. He was not there. So this is the past tense of des. We're going to be covering that in section 2 or 3 of this lesson. So stick around for that if you want to learn how to use it. But basically, deshita is the past tense of des. So いませんでした is he was not there. This is the whole negative past tense, actually. We're going to be covering that as well today. That's the probably meat of the lesson, so stick around for that. ビールがありますか? ビールがありますか? This is our あります from the lesson. Sorry, the ka is not a different color, but it's do you have beer? あります is have in this situation. And the do you is kind of implied. The do you is with the ka. That's the question, obviously. ビールがありますか? Do you have beer? あります. Yes, I have some. So that's a nice long, you just have to say the verb. It exists. Or I have. Yes, I have some. あります. Nande. Nande. I don't know if we've covered that yet, but nande means why. Why? If someone asks you a question, why do you want to know? Nande. Our last sentence in this section was どこにありますか? Now, once again, Genki did not teach this whole どこに and then using あります, but it's pretty straightforward. It's directional どこ, where, a directional or a place word どこにありますか? トイレはどこにありますか would be another very common sentence you would use in this situation. Where things are. So we got to review a little bit from lesson 2 before we jump into this. So in lesson 2, we learned to use words like koko, doko, soko, asoko, which is where, basically. It means where is something. So for example, in the sentence X wa doko desu ka? This sentence means where is X, because doko is where, des is of course is, and ka is the question marker. So where is whatever the noun is, X. Where is X? X wa doko desu ka? And then the answer to that question may be koko desu. X is here. You could say X wa koko desu. You could say that, but it's implied. You don't need to have that in the response. You can cut it and just have koko desu. So we learned that in lesson 2, right? So now we are going to expand upon that a little bit. We're going to expand. It's a little bit confusing looking at this mathematical equation. And I know languages aren't really math, but it does help sort of break it down, especially after we see the example sentences. So our little formula is X wa Y no location. So location, des. LOC is locational word, like koko or asoko or soko, okay? So this sentence means X is location word Y. An example could be wa, and one more thing we're going to learn in this section, or that Genki teaches, is Y no location word de. An activity can take place. So this is going to make a lot more sense with some example sentences, so don't worry too much about this. But this would mean I did an activity at a location, basically, in relation to Y. So our first example sentence is kind of silly. It's X wa Y no mai desu. And it's true. X is before or in front of Y. If you were to look at a chart of the English alphabet, you would see that X wa Y no mai desu. X is before Y. So it totally works that way. In our next sentence, we have Y no mae de kohi wo nomimasu. So we've got a full like action sentence here, right? Kohi wo nomimasu. That means I drink coffee. And the location I do it at is in front of mae Y. Maybe there's a big Y in the middle of town, or like a big love sign, but it's actually a Y in the middle of Philadelphia. And it's Y no mae de kohi wo nomimasu. This is one more thing that sort of Genki sneaks into this lesson. They do not cover it enough, and they don't really even, they just sort of hit it down in the bottom of a chart that is explaining the other stuff we just covered. But it's actually super useful and super important. I actually did a whole video on it a while ago. It's one of my 3-minute Thursday videos. It's in that playlist, so take a look at that if you want some more on AIDA, but I am going to cover it as much as I can tonight. So, AIDA is X wa Y to Z or Z no AIDA desu. So X is between Y and Z. So Y to Z, right? To actually means and in this situation. We're going to be covering that. That's the last section of the lesson. So if you want to learn more about to, stick around for that. But just know in the construction of the AIDA construction, that's how you mention what things something is between, X in particular. But I promise you the example sentence will make it clearer than that formula. It's just nice to have that to go back to so you can insert words into it and try to make them yourself. So here are the words we're going to be using today, or that you will be taught in Genki for using as location words. They are migi, migi, which is right, hidari, left, mae, in front of or before, ushiro, behind, naka, inside, ue, ue, on or above, shita, under or beneath, chikaku, near, close to, basically, soba, near. They're actually, soba and chikaku are very similar in their meaning. Tonari, next to. All right, so let's go ahead and get into some actual sentences, and I will get to your questions. So, inu wa ie no mai desu. So here we have our X, Y, and our location word. Inu wa ie no mai desu. The dog is in front of the house. Shashin wa tsukue no ue desu. The picture is on, ue. Ue can also mean on or above the desk. Obviously it means on because the picture is not going to be floating above the desk. I suppose it could be on the wall behind the desk, but in that situation you could also say ue, tsukue no ue ni arimasu, for example. Oh, I just said something I'm not supposed to say. Genki never covers the fact that you could say the exact same thing with ni arimasu as opposed to des. I wasn't going to cover this in this section, but I just said it by accident, so I might as well really quickly. You could also replace this with inu wa ie no mai ni imasu. Shashin wa tsukue no ue ni arimasu. You could also say that. Just a side note, don't worry about it too much. Genki doesn't cover it yet. It's a thing though. Tokyo wa Kanagawa ken to Ibaraki ken no aida desu. This is a bit difficult of a sentence, a bit of a mouthful, but these things are basically prefecture names, and Tokyo is in between these two prefectures, namely Kanagawa ken, Kanagawa prefecture, and to Ibaraki ken, Ibaraki prefecture, right? So Tokyo is between those two prefectures. In particular, Tokyo to, which is the sort of prefecture or whatever of Tokyo, and Aida means between. So that's how we use that one. These sentences are using the location words along with verb sentences, right? So actions. So we have the same sentence as before, but it's an action. Inu wa ie no mae de oshikko o shimasu. The dog pees in front of the house. Oshikko is to urinate for a dog or for a human, whatever. Oshikko shimasu. The dog pees in front of the house. Oshikko shimasu is peas. I'm sure you wanted to know that. All right. Yama no ue de shashin wo torimasu. So I took a picture, the I is implied here, on top of the mountain or just on the mountain. 山の上で on top of the mountain 写真を撮りました I took a picture. Now you'll notice this is you might not notice that this is the past tense of the verb. We're covering that, I believe, in 2 sections from now. So that's going to be a fun one. お寺の隣で友達を待ちました Also the past tense of waited. あれ? This sentence is wrong. お寺の隣で友達を待ちました means I waited for my friend next to the temple. I waited for my friend next to the temple. I waited for my friend next to the temple. Sorry about that. All right, let's jump into our conversation. I'm going to read it slowly once, then at a normal speed, and then I'll go over each meaning in English, and you can ask me any questions you want over in the chat. So, first, continuation of the last story. Remember, we're looking for Ando-san, and he wasn't in the toilet, but apparently he should be by wherever the beer is. 外にあります says A-san. 外にあります she's talking about the beer. 外のどこにありますかクーラーの中。クーラーはどこですかバーベキューの隣です。じゃあ、きっとそこにいます。Alright, let's go to full speed there. 外にあります。外のどこにありますかクーラーの中。クーラーはどこですかバーベキューの隣です。じゃあ、きっとそこにいます。Alright, let's go over that line by line as we try to find Ando-san. 外にあります. This means it is outside. So you can actually use the ni particle with あります to indicate where something is. It's not in lesson 4. Don't worry about it too much, but this is one usage of あります. If you use the ni particle with the location that something exists at, you can express it is outside or it is in a different location. 外のどこにありますか? Remember, using the no particle expounds on the どこ. So 外のどこ. I know it's outside, but where outside? 外のどこにありますか? Where outside is it? All right, now we get to the location word sentences. クーラーの中. In the cooler. So 中 is in the cooler. Kura is cooler. I don't know if you guys call it a cooler wherever you're from, but basically it's a thing that you keep items cold in, right? You put ice in it, keeps beers and sodas and whatever cold. Eto is like a natural or like that's how Japanese people say or Cooler wa doko desu ka? Where is the cooler? Straightforward sentence there. I'm not going to go over that for too long, but the next sentence we use a location word again. So, barbecue no tonari desu. So here you have tonari, which means next to the barbecue. Barbecue no tonari desu. It's next to the Barbie. じゃあ、きっとそこにいます。All right, here's a new word that you probably haven't seen yet and it has not shown up in Genki yet, and it probably won't, but I like it, so I've included it here. That word is kitto, which means most likely or probably. Kitto soko ni imasu, then he's most likely there. The fun stuff in this lesson, the past tense of desu. This is useful. So, nice little fun chart here. Here is the present tense we learned in lesson 1. Desu and janai, right? We really learned janai desu, which is a little bit more polite version of the negative, present negative, janai desu. So the past tense it's really straightforward. It's just deshita for desu and janakatta. So is, was, basically, is, was, is not, was not. Janakatta. But let's go over that a little bit. We're going to have to review a little bit so that doesn't look too daunting. So, if we remember from lesson, I believe it was 1, maybe it was 2, might have been 2. The opposite of des is actually dewa arimasen. Dewa arimasen. Now, arimasen is the negative of aru, which we just learned back up in section 1. So, dewa arimasen. So, we can shorten dewa arimasen to janai. And you can add des if you want to make it a little bit more polite. By the way, dewa arimasen is a much more polite version of janai. It's much more polite to say the whole thing, but it's only used in like very formal situations or in writing. in most conversation, you are going to say janai. But let's break down how that works out. We can shorten dewa to ja. Conversationally, dewa, when you're saying it fast, can be ja. And arimasen, right, if you remember, aru, the negative of aru, which is to exist, is arimasen, right? But the informal negative, which we haven't learned yet, but the informal negative of aru is actually sort of irregular. The informal negative of aru is nai. It's nai. That means does not exist, nai. So if you put those together, you get janai, dewa nai. It's also a way you could put it. Don't worry about dewa nai. We'll get to that. You add des for a little bit out of politeness, and you get janai desu. So let's go back to that chart and add a little bit more in. We have desu, which is the present tense of is. Deshita, which is the past tense, so was. We have nai, which is does not exist. Nakatta is the past tense of nai. Nakatta. Nakatta, right. Nakatta is the past tense of nai, okay? So that means did not exist. So if we take that nakatta and we add it to janai to get the past tense, we get janakatta. Was not, basically. That means was not. Okay, hope that wasn't too confusing. Using our sentences from the very first lesson where we learned x wa y desu, we can use it with the past tense. X wa y deshita. Instead of x wa y desu, which is x was or is y, we say deshita, x was y. X wa y janakatta desu. X was not y. Right? That's just the negative. All right, so some example sentences to get this out on the table. I need to stop saying all right so much. 昨日は土曜日でした. Yesterday was Saturday. That's completely true, right? Yesterday was Saturday. 昨日は土曜日でした. If you're watching this on the replay, that might not be the case. But anyway, でした was Saturday. そこは公園でした. There was a park, or that was a park. Over there was a park. Okay, so maybe now it's a 7-Eleven or something, but it was a park. そこは公園でした. 雨じゃなかったです. Ooh, this is a fun one. It was not rainy. So, if someone asked, was it raining where you were on vacation? Yeah, 雨じゃなかった. It wasn't raining. Or if I think, oh, it's raining, and I look outside my window, あ、雨じゃなかった. It was raining candy. お菓子でした. Right? It was candy. Let's go into some slightly more detailed sentences. その人は英語の先生でした. That person, oh, that should be that person was an English teacher. その人は英語の先生でした. It could also mean, depending on the context, that that person was my English teacher. あ、私の英語の先生でした. We would have to add that, but it could be implied depending on the situation. その人は英語の先生でした. この靴は3000円でした. So I'm wearing a pair of shoes. I've already paid for them. So I wouldn't say that they are 3,000 yen, because that would imply that I'm going to sell them to you for 3,000 yen, and you're never going to pay that. But I paid 3,000 yen for these. So these shoes were 3,000 yen, or I paid 3,000 yen for them. Our next sentence uses a location word from the last section. 隣の席は空きじゃなかったです. This is a fun sentence that I've actually never used. Yuki wrote this sentence for me, but I'm going to use it now. The seat next to us wasn't empty. So aki, you'll know that this kanji is for sky, maybe. Maybe you know that, maybe you don't. Aki means empty. Aki janakatta desu. 隣の席は空きじゃなかったです. So I learned something new in this lesson too, guys. 空きじゃなかった means it wasn't empty. Or 空きでした would mean it was empty. 安藤さんじゃなかったです. That wasn't Ando-san. So if we see someone on the street, or maybe you see someone on the street, and you're like, Ando-san, and you touch them on the shoulder, and it's just a random Japanese dude in a happy, which is that thing he wears for festivals, you could come back to your friend and say, Ando-san じゃなかったです. It wasn't Ando-san. It's too bad. I hope you get to meet him someday. 安藤さんは友達ですか? まあ、ルームメイトでした。でした?いいルームメイトじゃなかった。あれ? Let's read that at full speed. 安藤さんは友達ですか？まあ、ルームメイトでした。でした？いいルームメイトじゃなかった。Let's see what that meant in English. So we've got 安藤さんは友達ですか? Is 安藤さん your friend? I feel like if you were asking someone this question, you would probably actually say 安藤さんはお友達ですか? And that's the honorific o, not the particle o, but the actual o character, not wo. And that's an honorific. It makes it a little bit more polite. I feel like if the person you're asking wasn't super close to you, that's probably what you would say. 安藤さんはお友達ですか? But you can just say 友達ですか? It's fine. まあ、ルームメイトでした. Well, he was my roommate. There's our でした. That means he was my roommate. ルームメイト means roommate. でした? So I'm what's that called? Mirroring what the person said. でした was いいルームメイトじゃなかった. He wasn't, so this is was not, a good roommate. He wasn't a good roommate. Oh my god, I wonder what happened. It's the polite past tense. This is going to be a bit of a long one, but I'm going to run through it. I really apologize for anyone watching on the replay or that's in chat that was not at the last lesson or hasn't done lesson 3 yet. It's going to seem really fast, but if you haven't covered lesson 3 yet and you're not comfortable with it, you're going to want to go back and take a look at that lesson because I went over it much more clearly in that one. You can look at the old one from 2019 or the one from last 2 weeks ago. Both will help you out, I think, a lot. But I am going to fly through everything I taught in that lesson. I'm not going to take my time because it's a lot of information and most of you probably already have it down. So, review. Remember that all verbs end with an u syllable in their dictionary form, right? So when you learn new verbs, you need to learn their dictionary form. It's very important. And what I mean by an u syllable is these hiragana, right? We've got u, ku, su, tsu, nu, mu, gu, bu, and du. So you hear those end in an u syllable. There's a syllable before them, like duh, like an R sound. If you wrote it out in Romaji, it would be R-U, B-U, G-U, M-U, right? That's what I mean by that. So the Japanese polite past tense is this. It's the masu stem plus mashita. But what is the mas stem? Just let's review that really quick because we went over it last week and maybe some of you forgot it. So I like to call what Genki calls u verbs, I like to call them godan verbs. Japanese people in their classes, when they're in school, they also call them godan verbs. I'm going to do a video. MB Karuana actually went over really well in my Discord, and then Yuki told me, wow, how did he know that? That's exactly what they taught us in school. And nobody ever taught that to me. I just called them godan verbs because, like, out of faith, I guess, but there's actually a good reason. And I'm going to do a video on it, but it would take a long time to explain it now. Just know that godan is a better way to refer to verbs because that's how Japanese people refer to them. How to make the godan mas polite verb stem is you take the u syllable and you turn it into an e syllable, not an e character. You turn it into an e syllable. So how does that work? We've got u becomes e, ku becomes ki, su becomes she. There's this mark because you'll notice it's not si, it's she because si does not exist in Japanese. So su becomes she, tsu becomes chi. Once again, there's no tsui or t in Japanese, so it's chi. Tsu becomes chi. Nu becomes ni, mu becomes mi, gu becomes bi, bu becomes bi, du becomes di. There's 2 of these because du can sometimes be an iru and edu or ichidan verb, which is actually really easy, and we're going to cover that in a few minutes just for review. So here is the past tense of these verbs. You'll remember from the last lesson that what we did is we took the mas stem, right? So we got the mas stem, which is utao, which is sing, becomes utai, right? Utai. That's the stem. And we added mas for the polite present tense. To get the past tense, we just do the same thing and add mashita. So if you can make the polite present tense already, you can make the past tense. You just got to remember that it ends in mashita. Kiku, which is listen, becomes kiki mashita. Hanasu, hanashi, hanashimashita. Matsu, machimashita. Shinu, shinimashita. Remember, shinu is the only new verb you're ever going to encounter in modern Japanese. So if you learn that one, you've got them all down. Nomu, nomimashita. Isogu, isogimashita. Hurried. Asobu, asobimashita. Played. Noru, norimashita. Got on, like a train or a bike. Ichidan verbs are verbs that end in either iru or eru, which is very easy if you write them out in Romaji. This is the only time I recommend ever using Romaji, and that is when you're trying to figure out whether a verb is an iru or eru verb. So taberu, you'll see taberu. We've got an e there before ru. That means it's an eru verb. That means it's an ichidan verb. I'll go over that with 10 exceptions. There's 10 exceptions, maybe a few more that we're going to cover in a minute. Happy news, happy news. There's to make the stem with an iru and eru ichidan verb, all you have to do is cut off the ru and add mashita. So miru becomes mi mashita, looked. Neru, nemashita, slept. Okiru, kataru, okimashita. And that's it. Woke up, got up, slept, looked. Oops, and there's our furigana. Here are the exceptions. Unfortunately, you just need to memorize these. So the ones that I'm aware of, the 10 exceptions to the iru eru verb, and by exception I mean that these are conjugated. They are iru verbs. Look, hairu, if we look at the furigana. So you'd expect it to be an iru verb, right? So you would expect this to be conjugated as haimashita, but it's not an iru eru verb. You conjugate it like a normal godan verb. So it's hairimashita, right? Hashirimashita, ran. Irimashita, needed. Kairimashita, went home. Kagirimashita, limited. Kirimashita, cut. Shaberimashita, spoke. Shirimashita, kerimashita, kicked. And suberimashita, slid. So those are the exceptions. You just unfortunately have to memorize those. There's no easy way to remember whether or not a verb is an exception. Sorry about that. All right, there's two irregular verbs that are almost always irregular, and those are kuru and suru. So kuru becomes kimashita, just like with the polite present. Suru becomes shimashita. I did. Sorry, I didn't change this. It's came, did. I came, I did. This one I'm going to go even faster. It's the Japanese polite present tense negative, not present tense. It's the Japanese polite past tense negative, Andy. Man, you got to pay a little bit more attention to these slides, dude. Masu stem plus masen deshita. We saw this earlier with Ando-san imasen deshita. He does not exist. He was not there. For godan verbs, to make the negative, you just take the stem and add masen deshita, right? So deshita is the past tense of des, right? Masen is the negative conjugation of any verb, right? So it's utaimasen is not sing. But if you want to say you did not sing politely, you'd say utaimasen deshita. I didn't sing. Kikimasen deshita. I didn't listen. So otherwise, it's exactly the same as the last past tense, right? You just use the stem. But instead of mashita or mas for the present, you say masen deshita. And that gives you the past negative. And that's all I'm covering for those. Ichidan verbs, same thing. Kataru. And add masen deshita. Mimasen deshita. Did not look. Nemasen deshita. Did not sleep. Okimasen deshita. Did not wake up or did not get up. The exceptions are exactly the same as before. They are exceptions. Hairimasen deshita. Hashirimasen deshita. Irimasen deshita. Kairimasen deshita. Kagirimasen deshita. Did not limit. Kirimasen deshita, shaberimasen deshita, shirimasen deshita, kerimasen deshita, and suberimasen deshita. If you learn masen deshita, that's all you gotta learn, and how to make the verb stem. These are also the same. Kuru becomes kimasen deshita, did not come. Suru becomes shimasen deshita, did not do. So before I go into the conversation, the important thing to take from all this is that if you know how to make the vimas stem, which is what I'm gonna refer to it as now, the vimas stem, verb for verb and stem for stem. Verb plus masu, the vimas stem, which is what it's referred to in most grammar dictionaries that I've seen. If you know how to make that, you can conjugate any verb into its present tense, its negative tense, its past tense, and its past negative without any problems. All you have to do is learn the really only 3 endings, right? Because it's masu for the present, masen for the negative, masen deshita for the past negative, and then mashita. So you really only need to learn those 2 rules for, iru verbs and godan verbs, and then 4 endings, and you can conjugate anything at all. Read it slow first. Continuing story from before. Ando-san imasen. Sumimasen. Ando-san mimashita ka? ここでビールを飲みましたよ。ほら。でも、どこに行きましたか？ビールがありませんでした。Let's read that at a full speed. いません。すみません。安藤さん見ましたか？ここでビールを飲みましたよ。ほら。でも、どこに行きましたか？ビールがありませんでした。Let's go over that line by line. いません. Not here is what that really means. But if we're following from the last conversation, we know it means he's not here. いません. He's not here. We went outside to the cooler. He's not there. すみません. Excuse me. There's another person here. 安藤さん見ましたか? Excuse me. Did you see? 見ましたか? 安藤さんを見ましたか would be the full sentence. I dropped the O here. Conversationally, you might drop that O. So, just so you know that. It's droppable. You're supposed to have it though. 安藤さんを見ましたか? C, we have a person C now. ここでビールを飲みましたよ. Yeah. ここで right here. ビールを飲みました. He drank beer right here. ここでですよ. That's like, just so you know. ほら. Hora is a fun word, guys. You should use this one. It's a lot like hora in... Well, no, hora in Spanish is look, right? But it's kind of like that. I feel like it's a similar usage. It's like, look. Like, I told you so. Hora. It just means I told you so, basically. Let's go through the next sentences. でも、どこに行きましたか? But where did he go? どこに行きましたか? So obviously, 行く is a directional verb, so we need to use the particle に. And どこ is where? Where did he go? The did is the past tense, obviously. ビールがありませんでした. So obviously, Mr. B, which by the way is me in the Patreon. There's two new characters. Yuki's a new character, and I have a new character in the new Patreon videos. But ビールがありませんでした. I went to the cooler, I looked inside. There's no beer left, or there was no beer left. So I probably went, looked, I came back. ビールがありませんでした. Maybe I wanted a beer. I don't know why. Who knows? Hora. It's time to talk more about the particle mo. We have covered the particle mo a little bit in a previous lesson. I can't remember exactly which lesson. But let's just review what we covered really quick in that lesson. 2 in Japanese, we use the mo particle. So we take the very first sentence structure that we learned in lesson 1, which was x wa y desu. X is y. And to say 2, z mo y desu. To say z is also y, we just use mo instead of wa. We replace the wa particle with mo. So z mo y desu. But to do this, you got to remember, we need to have a previous sentence. Like we have to have both of these sentences. You can't just have z mo y desu alone. There needs to be something that it is also a sentence before that. It could be contextual, but anyway, let's just go over how that worked, right? Z was the topic. In this one, it's kare, the guy. Let's bring these up. Mo means to, y is about Z or about X or whatever, and desu is it is. So, 彼はアメリカ人です. He is an American. 僕もアメリカ人です. I am also American. So that's how we use that one. Now, what we're going to learn today is that mo is actually much more versatile than this. We can also use mo to replace the o particle, the ga particle, and we can use it along with the ni particle and de particle. So we're going to learn about that today. It's not as confusing as it sounds. Basically, we'll have a sentence like this. X wa y wo, and an action, right? X wa z mo, and an action, right? So X maybe is me, and they also do that action they do it to both of these things, Y and Z. So a good example of this would be, 僕は肉を食べました. So I ate meat. 僕は肉を食べました. But I also ate vegetables. So to say that, I would replace that O with mo and add 野菜も食べました. I have the 僕は in parentheses because, look, the example sentences in Genki have a full sentence. 僕は肉を食べました. 僕は野菜も食べました. But in reality, we know we're talking about me in this situation. I don't need to say me, I. I don't even really need to say it once. But if I said it once, I definitely don't need to say it twice. So, 僕は肉を食べました。野菜も食べました。Perfectly fine. Drop that 僕は. You could even drop the first one. Now, to use mo with ni. So that replaces o, right? But to use it with ni, you cannot drop the ni. You add it to ni. So, x は y に a movement verb like 行く。x は z にも movement verb like 行く。So, good easy example for this is 私は東京に行く。This is informal sentence, eh? 長野にも行く. So that means I go to Tokyo. I'll also go, if we're thinking future tense here, I'll also go to Nagano, right? But we need that ni, because if we said Nagano mo iku, well, for starters, it just doesn't work. It's not correct. It's incorrect. You need to have ni mo. Same for de. So x wa, location of y, de, an action. To say you also did something at a location, you would use demo. So let's use this example. Same as before, kind of. 私は東京で遊ぶ. Asobu means play, but it can also mean to have fun, basically, in Nagano with my friends, maybe. So, Tokyo de asobu. I'm going to go hang out in Tokyo. You can sort of translate asobu as hang out as well. Nagano de mo asobu. I'm going to hang out in Nagano or have fun in Nagano as well. So I hope that made sense. Let's go over a few example pairs. So our first one is 野菜を買いました. I bought vegetables. 果物も買いました. I bought fruits too. Or I also bought fruits. 果物も買いました. So we replaced O here, right? 学校で勉強します. I study at school. うちでも勉強します. I also study at home or I study at home too. 東京に行きました. I went, past tense here, to Tokyo. 京都にも行きました. I also went, or I went to Tokyo too. That's a pretty common itinerary for people visiting Japan, so I'm pretty sure you can use that one. Here we go. We're talking to C and B right now. A is sort of coming in later. 最後のビールを飲みましたね. So this is continuing story, remember. The story started up there. そうですか。最後のコーラも飲みましたよ。最後のハンバーガーも食べました。最悪。A jumped in at the end and said 最悪. So let's go through that at a normal speed. 最後のビールを飲みましたね。そうですか。最後のコーラも飲みましたよ。最後のハンバーガーも食べました。最悪. That's how that would go. All right, let's go do that line by line and I'll get to your questions. 最後のビールを飲みましたね. Yeah. He drank the last beer. So this is Ando-san. Last is 最後. 最後 means the last or the final. He drank the last beer. We've got past tense of 飲みました. 飲みましたね. そうですか. I see. Remember, that's just a set phrase. Means I see. 最後のコーラも飲みましたよ. So here, obviously, we are using mo in place of the O particle to say he also drank the last cola. This is a nice vocal expression in Japanese that means what the... You know what comes after that. 最後のハンバーガーも食べました. He ate the last hamburger too. 最悪. Seriously, I've translated that as. But what's important is you can't just read this as seriously. Because A is not saying, seriously, he did that. What this is seriously, it's like, damn it, something like that. Or it translates literally to, that's the worst. It translates as the worst, but it doesn't sound very good in English to say, oh, that's the worst. You could say, he's the worst, would probably be a good way to put this too. But I like seriously as 最悪. So use that one with your friends. 最悪. I love that one. let's go ahead and jump into duration in Japanese. This one is super straightforward. It's going to be a nice short section. So if you have any questions from the last sections, feel free to throw them at the end of this. Duration in Japanese is expressed with nouns like jikan and fun, and, well, not fun, but fun, and shukan. So what's important to learn in this lesson, and what Genki only really covers here, is that nouns like jikan, fun, and shu, it feels so funny to just say fun. Let's say maru jikan, maru fun, maru shukan. By the way, fun is like what a person will say to you when they don't like what you're saying and they're just like, whatever. It's basically like, whatever. Fun, or when you find what someone is saying to be distasteful or whatever. Fun. So that's why it seems so funny to say it that way. So I'm not going to say it. Anyway, they do not take a particle. So for example, 1時間勉強しました. I studied for 1 hour. It would not be 1時間に勉強しました. Boo boo. No particle. That's the takeaway from this part of the lesson. That's it. Also, you can use this kurai or gudai to express approximate times. Now I'll cover why there's both of them in a second. 1時間くらい勉強しました. I studied for about or approximately 1 hour. Now, why do I have kurai and gudai? Short answer is I don't know. No idea. Slightly longer answer is that they're both exactly the same and it's up to you which one you use when. I find it easier to say gudai. It's easier. It comes out of my mouth easier. The hard stop of kurai, it just doesn't flow as nicely, especially as an American. I feel like it's easier to say gudai. So I would read this sentence, or I would say this sentence. I have no furigana there, sorry. 1時間ぐらい勉強しました. That's what I would say. It doesn't matter. You can use whichever one you want. I'd say that in writing, this is anecdotal. I'd say most of the time it shows up as kurai in writing, but that's totally anecdotal. I'm not really 100% positive. I haven't read every book in the world. Haven't read most books in the world. So I don't know that for sure, but right, in conversation, I feel like most people say gudai, but that's also anecdotal. So let's jump into some example sentence. 30分歩きました. I walked for 30 minutes, right? No ni particle, just 30分歩きました. As far as whether or not it's fu or pun or whatever for fun, these are things you just need to memorize. 仕事を9時間しました. I worked for 9 hours. 9時間しました. See this for here? It's not in the sentence in Japanese. So that's why I put it in black. Like there's nothing for it. It's implied there, I guess. 1時間ぐらい昼寝をしました. I took a nap for about an hour. You'll notice I said gurai despite it being written as kurai. That's okay. All right, some more difficult sentences. We've got 半日仕事に行きました. 半日 is another one of these nouns. It means half day. I went to work for a half day. 半日仕事に行きました. So 仕事 is a noun that does take ni. Like 行きました takes ni. But the 半日 part does not take ni. 友達と2時間くらい話しました. I talked with my friend for about 2 hours. Now this to we haven't covered yet. That comes at the end of this lesson, so stick around for that if you'd like to learn more about how to use it. It means with in this situation. It means with my friend. 友達と2時間くらい話しました. But we'll cover that a little bit more in a bit. 銀行で1時間ぐらい待ちました. I waited for about an hour at the bank. ぐらい is of course about. 銀行で I was doing it at the bank. You can translate that de, and this should be black, as at. Almost always. 銀行で1時間くらい待ちました. All right, so we've got a nice long conversation coming up here with Mr. C and Mr. B. まあ、面白いですよ、あの人。どのぐらい話しましたか ?5 分ぐらい。何を話しましたかわかりませんが、たくさん笑いました。いつ話しましたか1時間前ですね。Alright, let's read that at a normal speed. まあ、面白いですよ、あの人。どのぐらい話しましたか ?5 分ぐらい。 何を話しましたか？わかりませんが、たくさん笑いました。いつ話しましたか1時間前ですね。Alright, let's go over that one by one and then we'll get to your questions. まあ、面白いですよ、あの人。まあ is like, well, he's funny, that guy. 面白いですよ、あの人. So that guy. He's not here. He's off in the distance. He went somewhere. So that's ano hito. It's not a polite way, by the way, to refer to a person. Saying ano hito is not polite. Let's just get that out there. You most of the time are not going to refer to people as ano hito. I mean, you will sometimes, but it's not polite. I use it jokingly sometimes, and that's fine. 面白いですよ is 面白い can be translated as funny or interesting, but we know Ando-san. Well, not all of us, but a lot of us know Ando-san, so we know that he's funny. Well, I hope so. I like to think he's funny. どのぐらい話しましたか? About how long did you talk for? どのぐらい is actually a set phrase. Sorry, I didn't cover that here. どのぐらい is a set phrase. I had to read it out loud for me to remember this. That means how long. But it can also be translated as about how long. どの by itself does not mean how long. 話しましたか? About how long did you talk for? 5分ぐらい. About 5 minutes. 何を話しましたか? What did you talk about? Pretty straightforward. わかりませんが I don't know, but たくさん笑いました. I laughed a lot. Warao is to laugh or to smile. 笑いました means I laughed. I don't know, わかりません or I don't understand. I don't remember what we talked about. わかりませんが or it was nonsense, so I don't really know, but it was funny. いつ話しましたか? When did you talk? Now, いつ does mean when. いつ話しましたか? This is the thinking sound, like 1時間前ですね. Remember, 前 from earlier, it means before or in the past, ago. It can also be used temporally to mean before in time. Next, we're going to jump into expressions of quantity. This is going to be a fast one. It's covering just takusan, which means a lot, is covered in Genki Lesson 4. But what you can know is that they're very similar in usage to frequency adverbs, which we covered in things like yoku and amari and zenzen, which we covered back in, I don't remember what lesson, a couple lessons ago. But basically, it looks a little messy, but adverb of quantity, Q, plus a direct object, plus o, plus verb. Now, the reason I have this mess is here is you can put it anywhere in the sentence pretty much. You could put it before the direct object. You could put it before the verb. Direct object o, adverb of quantity, like takusam, plus a verb, or just the adverb of quantity alone with a verb. You don't need to have the direct object. It's very versatile. So, some examples are, takusan hanashi o shimasu. We haven't covered hanashi as a noun yet, but hanashi can also be a noun. If it's easier for you to understand, we can use takusan hanashimasu. It would mean the same thing as I will talk a lot, but you can also, hanashi is also a noun. It means like a story or talking. And you can say hanashi o shimasu, you can say that. We've never covered that before, and Genki hasn't covered that yet, so I hope that's not too confusing, but it is a thing. It's not that way with all verbs. This is a special one. Sakana wo takusan tabemasu. So for this sentence, you could also say takusan sakana wo tabemasu. Either way is fine. I will eat a lot of fish. Takusan manga wo yomimashita. So I read many comic books. You could also say manga wo takusan yomimashita. Either one of those sentences would be perfectly fine. It can go anywhere. Takusan just means many or a lot of. We're back into our story about Ando-san. じゃあどこに行きましたか? わかりません。安藤さんはビールをたくさん飲みますよ。ハンバーガーもたくさん食べますね。それもね、隣の家でもバーベキュー。隣のうちでもバーベキュー、どっちでもいい。やばい。Let's go with that full speed. じゃあ、どこに行きましたか? わかりません。安藤さんはビールをたくさん飲みますよ。ハンバーガーもたくさん食べますね。それもね、隣のうちでもバーベキュー。やば。 right, let's go over that line by line, and I will get to your questions in a moment. じゃあ, well, どこに行きましたか? Where did he go then? So this could also be like, then where did he go? So じゃあ could also be translated as, then where did he go? どこに行きましたか? わかりません. Mr. C says, I don't know. わかりません. 安藤さんはビールをたくさん飲みますよ. 安藤さん drinks 飲みます. A lot of beer. ビールをたくさん飲みます. You could also say 安藤さんはたくさんビールを飲みますよ. I feel better saying it before the verb in a lot of situations, but it would be fine. Drinks a lot of beer. That yo is, you know, ハンバーガーも there's our mo particle たくさん飲みますね. We replaced the o particle with mo. Remember, we learned that a few sections ago. He eats a lot of hamburgers too, eh? The Canadian I think. I can't speak Canadian. それも that too, right? ね. Ne can be used, by the way. We haven't covered this, but in this situation, it's not really a particle. It's like, hey, ne. Yuki likes to say ne ne a lot. A lot of people like to say ne ne a lot to get your attention. Hey, hey, ne. 隣のうちでも barbecue. This trails off here. The house next door is having a barbecue too. And then I say, やばい. Now, やばい can be translated many ways. In this situation, I translated it as an expletive that starts with S, which I'm not going to say just because, you know, advertisers, I guess. I don't know. But it can also just mean like, oh no, or oh my God. It can also mean things like awesome or amazing, or there's lots of different things it can mean. I was actually going to do a big TikTok on that, but I never did it. Maybe I'll do a video on it one day. But in this situation, you could think of it as the expletive, but it's not like a bad word. It wouldn't be censored like we would censor this in English. It's not a bad word at all, but it is very casual. The handy to particle. To means and when used to combine nouns. So if you have two nouns, noun one, noun two, you put to in the middle, it means and. But it can also be used to mean together with someone. Together with, and I'll show you how to use that. So first, noun plus to plus noun just means and. A and B, basically. A noun, an animate object. That's the important part. Wa, so maybe it's me. Noun, animate object. To, some kind of activity. Ana means animate object. So let's see an example sentence here. 砂糖とミルクを入れます. I put sugar and milk in something. I don't know why I don't have in something. I put sugar and milk in to something. So that's just the and to, right? 安藤さんと私は友達でした. So Ando-san and I were friends. So me and basically Ando-san and me, Ando-san and I were friends. Past tense deshita. Oh well. Andy wa Yuki to Tai ni ikimashita. Andy went to Thailand with Yuki. So this is the with to. Now you'll notice we have the wa particle here, right? And then to comes after Yuki. When to comes after the final noun or after a noun, it means with that noun, that person or thing or whatever, or, you know, dog or whoever, whatever. In this case, it's Yuki. So in me, Andy wa Yuki to Tai ni ikimashita. Andy went to Thailand with Yuki. And that's true. We did go to Thailand together a couple years ago. Kino, watashi was in parentheses. It's optional. Kino, okasan to denwa de hanashimashita. So I talked with my mom on the phone yesterday. Mum. Nice. British mum. So watashi wa okasan. So the watashi wa is implied. You don't need it. Kino okasan to denwa de hanashimashita. So I talked with my mother on the phone. We have not covered that usage of de yet. That comes in a later lesson. But it is what it is. We use the phone. It's usage of something. We haven't covered that yet. Don't worry about it too much. But the important part is okasan to. Okasan to, with my mother. My nose is so itchy. It's driving me insane. I'm so sorry, guys. Let's jump into the final conversation. Yabai. Ah, Ando-san. Os. 本当にすみませんでした. Eh? This is D, new person. なんで安藤さんは大丈夫ですよ。ハンバーガーとビールを安藤さんと楽しみました。ごちそうさま。Let's go faster. やばいやばいやばい。あ、安藤さん。おっす。本当にすみませんでした。なんで安藤さんは大丈夫ですよ。ハンバーガーとビールを安藤さんと楽しみました。ごちそうさま。Alright, let's go over what that means line by line. やばいやばいやばい。Remember, this meant expletive, expletive, expletive before. It still could mean that right now, but we could also translate it as oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Something like that. Ah, Ando-san. Oh, Ando-san. This is A. Yuki. This is Ando-san. Os. So this is the way that like baseball players say hello to each other. Often when I'm hiking in Kamikochi, like up in the mountains here in Japan, people will say os when you're walking by the men in particular. It's a masculine sort of jock greeting. It means hello. Os. Hey. 本当にすみませんでした. I'm so sorry that this happened. So でした、すみませんでした is basically saying sorry for something that you did in the past or something that someone else did in the past in this case. 本当に means truly, truly. So the literal translation of this would be truly sorry. I'm truly sorry that this thing happened. 本当にすみませんでした. なんで? なんで means why. Why? 安藤さんは topic is 安藤さん. I'm implying that 安藤さん is the reason I'm sorry. 安藤さんは大丈夫ですよ. 大丈夫 means it's okay. It's fine. ハンバーガーとビール. Hamburgers and beer. So we've got the first to, which means and. を安藤さんと with 安藤さん. 楽しみました. 楽しむ means to enjoy. And we're using the past tense, 楽しみました, which means I enjoyed hamburgers and beer with, I put him here, but with Ando-san. We wouldn't say, I enjoyed hamburgers and beer with Ando-san. It sounds kind of weird. I enjoyed hamburgers and beer with him, is what we would probably say in reality. ごちそうさま is a very informal way of saying ごちそうさまでした, which literally translates as, it was a feast, but it's a set phrase. It's just a set phrase that you say at the end of any meal or when you're given food by someone as a gift or whatever, or after you eat at any time. But in English, we'd probably just translate this in this situation as thanks, or thanks for the food. So today's question is, 今日は誰と食べましたか? Who did you eat with today? That's the question. 今日は誰と食べましたか? An example of an answer would be お母さんと食べました. So I ate with my mother or with mother. In this case, maybe with my mother. お母さんと食べました. I also call Yuki's mom お母さん. So that's the question. So everyone, who did you eat with today? Not what did you eat? 誰と食べましたか? 俺はユキと食べました。あと、ユキの家族と食べました。I ate with Yuki's family. And that's it. That's the last one. Thank you guys so much for being here. This is another 2-hour and 20-minute stream. Please, いいねを押してください. That means hit the like button. I see a lot of you already have. Thank you so much. And if you're not subscribed yet, make sure to チャンネル登録お願いします. And hit that bell too, if you'd like to. Thank you for being here. Let's roll the Patreon credits. See you guys later. Bye-bye.
日本語勉強したいのか？俺と同じ風に日本語を喋れるようになりたいのか？この本持ってるのか？ Then we're here to help. そうなの？俺は無理って言おうと思った。On the Tokini Andy Patreon, we have listening and shadowing practice, Genki vocabulary practice, Genki textbook practice where Yuki, Ando, and I are your partners. Eventually, even workbook practice. そうなの？給料出る？
確かに。
Yeah, sure.
給料出るんだ。
After Genki 1, we'll be covering Genki 2, and eventually even intermediate textbooks. Detailed grammar lessons and Japanese Q&As will, as always, be on the YouTube for free. Tokkini Andy Patreon, live right now. よろしくね。
よろしくお願いします。